Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Old Bloke Crypto on May 22nd, 2024, with an exciting 24 hours coming up as we greatly anticipate the approval by the American SEC of the ETH ETFs. So if you've been following this channel, you'll know that's primarily what I make videos about is Ethereum and trading it, and today is no different. As I say, coming into this event, tactical and practical. So we're looking at the LTF or low time frame trading in preparation for the upcoming ETF approvals, which I expect to happen or to start happening in the next 24 hours, as does most of the market. Give you the reasons why that's firming even more and how we're going to trade either side of the approval process. Now, when I talk about the odds gathering higher and higher all the time, here's as an example, and this is the listing of just one of those ETFs on the exchange in which you will trade. So as it says here, this is from Twitter, shared from Watcher Guru, which is a reliable information source on Twitter. Van Eck, one of the biggies, their spot Ethereum ETF has just been listed under the ticker ETHV, as you'll see here. So the big boys don't go and play silly games like this for the sake of it, neither do the exchanges that they list on. And so they're expecting that to happen imminently, just like happened with the Bitcoin ETF approvals. So 75% was the odds yesterday. I dare say it's getting higher. And those odds are all very well and good, but how do we trade it? So let's get into the meat of it. And you'll see here, you'll see what I'm talking about here, and I've laid it out for you very, very clearly. This is the God candle from yesterday, breaking out of the falling wedge pattern, which I've been talking about for a number of days now. Broken through the number of ranges, obviously, with a God candle going up by over 20% in one day. It's going to do that. So we're into this mid-range here, with the top of the range being the new range high, 4100, which is also coincides with the yearly high. Now, as I say here, and I'll go through it, the low time frame tactical trade. Current entry positions, and now this is what I have, and I'll just pause at this moment to reiterate. None of what I say is financial advice. You do you. This is how I trade. And please hit the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Now that out the road, let's continue. So my current entry positions with 1.25 ETH, which might be too small, too big for you, or might be just right. If you're in the Goldilocks zone for you, well, that's my positions that I take. I always trade, as you'll know if you follow this channel, I always trade maximum leverage on anything that I trade. Don't recommend necessarily that you do so unless you've got plenty of experience. Start off with just a couple of times, say 2 times, up to 5 times leverage, just to get the feel of it in small trades. Anyway, so I'm in this particular trade every $50 because there's so much volatility at the moment. We can knock these levels off in a fairly rapid basis, knowing that the funding rates on Bybit, which I trade on most of the time, are like the rest of the centralized exchanges, going to be astronomical, so I don't want to be in the trade for too long if I can avoid it. So we've got 3,500, 3,550, 3,650, 3,700 and so on, and you get the drift up to 3,800 all told. Now in these frantic times in terms of price, I tend to not do automated trades. I just do manual trades. This is entry positions, but I set my take profits because obviously price can move very quickly overnight while one is sleeping. So I want to capture those profits when they happen, as well as stop losses, of course. So as I said, I missed out on that 3,600 point by manual trading, but we'll add if price reaches there. Unlikely unless we get a real wick to the downside with all this excitement when the first lot of ETF approvals come through. So as I said, unlikely, but we'll see. So I'll continue adding between the 50 EMA on the D1, which is the daily, 50 EMA at 3168 up to 3850. Again, I don't think it's going to get to 3600 in this short period of time, let alone 3168. But anyway, if it did, if it wicked down there for some momentous reason, I would add. So my take profit stop is the yearly high of 4100. And it's important to know that, look, price could blow straight through there. Yes, it could, absolutely. There's all sorts of things, but price tends to react around major highs, like yearly highs, for example, range highs. Price reacts. So you could get a wick through it and then bounce back before retesting. But either way, I want to capture that, lock that in, and then examine where we're at. There's no rush. There's a lot more upside for ETH, but the point is capture those profits. And as I said yesterday, no one ever died from capturing profits. So as I said, take profit stop, yearly high 4,100. Stop loss is the 200 EMA, which we've been above for many, many months on the D1, currently at 28.21. Now, speaking of funding rates, and this is why at times with great volatility, you don't want to be in the trade for too long unless you've got a massive position. And so have a look. Bitcoin, 11.7% is the funding rate, but Ethereum is double at the moment, and Solana sort of in between. But that's because all the action's happening with Solana, and of course the exchanges can benefit from that. Of course they're going to do that. So just be aware that this is a low time frame trade. You want to be in, want to be out, and getting to the yearly high, which I fully expect to happen within the next 24 to 36 hours, is my point of saying thank you very much. And this is one of my other charts that you'll see I refer to a lot. And you'll see here where the price is at the moment. These size 3 liquidity bubbles are not being printed. We're not going up into this next level where the liquidity lies, which liquidity is coming in, but only in a small amount because it was completely wiped out in the last 24 hours. This is the short positions to the upside. So that's going to build, obviously, with unwise shorters will come in and try and pick the top. But at the moment, we've got plenty of upside. So there's not a lot of resistance to the upside, not a lot of liquidity that's going to put a ceiling on things and have to chew through it. But you'll see here, and obviously the US market is closed now. We're in the middle of the day, Australian time. And you'll see here that these are just the 3 tokens I'm looking at the moment. But regardless of that, the VIX is down, S&P and NASDAQ are up, the Dixie's down a bit, and the Dow Jones is up. All we're exactly where you'd want them to be anyway, and oil is down. So again, that is a risk on for the markets, which is great for TradFi, again, giving increasing impetus to the upside for ETH. And looking at liquidations, which really only in the last 24 hours, because as I said, they got wiped out big time, is you'll see here they're coming in now at 38.51. There's still plenty of people willing to short for whatever reason. And I don't know what bubble they're living in, but if you're thinking about shorting, you're mad at the moment. So anyway, here we go. We've got 320 odd sitting here on Binance, starting at 38.51, the significant band, and obviously moving up to the upside. Now, there's not a heck of a lot above that in the billions and billions yet, hasn't had time to build up. I'm looking at 24-hour chart because, as you'll see, shown best on the 7-day chart, you see this big wipeout here of liquidity that got taken out. All these shorts that got taken out. So again, we have got more coming into the upside on the longer term, but price will blow through that, just like it did this area here, given the ETH ETF approvals happen as expected, starting on the 23rd American time, and the 24th is the next one. Those first 2 are really going to produce the great volatility that we're looking for. And just one last chart, which is the ETH BTC chart. And this is really talking about after you close your trade, or I'll certainly be closing my trade and taking profit at the yearly high. Where do we go next? Well, again, the upside is clear for ETH and indeed the ETH ecosystem. Looking at ETH BTC chart here, you'll see these levels that I've marked out previously and how we deviated below that range and we come back in, and then the God candle happened. And then in the last 24 hours, we just continued on to the upside, and now we're consolidating. Well, this here is this brown yellow line is the 200 EMA, and we're above that now, which is great. Most important, we stay above the 0.050 is our high time frame range bottom. But again, it just gives you an idea of the clear air that we have above us when the ETH ETFs are approved, and I expect this to continue on to the upside. And we could come back and test this 200 EMA, but it'll be a strong support. And when the 200 EMA on the daily forms a support, it is a very strong support and often lasts for months and months and months. So this is just an example of subsequent trades that you can be thinking about after all the excitement is over and done with the ETFs. So as I say, exciting times coming up. Trade safely, trade within your means. Hope you have a great win in the next 24 hours and have an appropriate take profit stop for your long position. That's certainly what I'll be doing, and I'll keep you updated on Twitter primarily after all of this excitement settles down. Have a great day. This is Old Bloke Crypto. I will talk to you next time.